Greetings. We are going to be using these straw rocket launchers, and even if you've used them before, I know that some of the teachers borrowed them from STEM camp and things like that. So if you've used them before, that's great, but the expectations you need to follow for 8th grade we need to make sure are really clear so that you can utilize these to collect data and look for patterns and all that good stuff. First of all, you'll notice that the straw rocket, which looks like this, is clearly a straw turned into a rocket. So the parts of the straw rocket to think about, up here we call this the nose cone or the tip. This is where you'll measure to if we do it quantitatively, numerically. The straw part itself is the fuselage of the rocket. So this is the body. There are different length straws. You can have different length fuselages. These are not wings. These are called fins. And they increase the surface area around the tail of the rocket, which helps it fly a little bit more uniformly. So you do need to use fins on your rocket. We're not just launching missiles with no fins. Notice that we try to arrange them fairly symmetrically around the back of the rocket. So your rocket will probably look similar to this, might be slightly different color. You do need to make sure you know what your rocket looks like so that when you retrieve it, you're getting the right one. So that's the rocket. Now on to the launch pad. Notice that they are lettered. You do need to make sure you launch from the same launcher every time to get reliable data. As they age, they get a little bit of inconsistencies and variabilities in that. On the launch tube, which is this part, this would be your launch tube, there's a little black gasket, and that slides up and down. That way, when you slide your straw onto it, if you keep your gasket in the same place every time, you're going to be getting a more reliable launch because it'll go to the same place every time. You also might want to think about how your fins are arranged when you slide your rocket on there so that you're getting, keeping that a constant as well. Some other things to think about. So you'll notice there's clay here. That's not for your pocket. That's not to throw at Buddy. Please don't eat it. But this is to hold up the launch tube. As you can tell, the launch tube needs to go at a specific angle. And so, just let me ask a Doolin. Are we at 15 degrees tomorrow? 15 degrees. You are going to use a 15-degree launch angle. Now notice that that looks different if I'm up above it or below it. So you want to get at eye level, which means you'll actually have to get down there and line the launch tube up to the 15-degree angle. That prevents your rockets from going to the ceiling, which would be bad and make me sad because then poor Jerry has to fix them more often and you have to buy a ceiling tile, which is ridiculous. So 15-degree launch angle, and the launcher, you'll notice your launch angle, you could adjust it on either side. As you look at the launch area, we launch on the left side of the hallway and measure or retrieve on the right. So essentially you're making like an imaginary line where all the planets are. You're gonna stay over on the right side for retrieval. Get out the way, like move, get out the way, because if you are hanging out on this side when people are trying to launch, you're in their way. That doesn't work. You've got to stay on the right side to retrieve and measure. Left side is for launching. It's not cute or funny to get in the way. Speaking of, it's not cute or funny to hit someone with a straw rocket, even if they want you to. Even if this nice person said, hit me with a straw rocket, don't do it, don't do it, it's not cute or funny. You do have to use safety glasses when you're using this because these little projectiles could put quite a hurt on you if you accidentally lean over them before launching. So we had the launch angle measurement, 15 degrees. Use the clay to support your launch tube if it's getting kind of wonky. You also have another part of the launcher, which is the stopper or the plunger. This measures in centimeters the drop height that you're using. You're going to need to get down on your knees to do this. Don't try and stand up, because when you try and stand up to do it, it tips the launcher forward or backward and you get inconsistent results. The higher you pull up the stopper, like this is to 20, the more force you're going to have when it hits the air in the launch tube. Do not pull the stopper up past the 46 line. In fact, you really don't want to go past 40 ever, because it can mess up the stopper housing at the top. Also notice when I'm pulling it up and dropping it, like if I pull it to 16, I just drop it. I don't slam it down. You never want to do that. That'll break the launcher. And these are about $180 last time I looked, so you do not want that to happen. It doesn't give you any more force. It doesn't make you any cooler. chicks don't dig you anymore. It's not fun. It just breaks the launcher, because then you can break the little spring in the bottom. That would be a problem. So you want to avoid that. So again, when you're launching, like, I'm gonna make sure I'm at a 15-degree angle. Yep, sure am. Slide my rocket onto the launch tube. Try to keep my fins pointing the same way each time so that it's consistent. I'm gonna pull it up this time to a 20 centimeter stopper height, then just release it. And then I gotta get out of the way, go over to the right side. Don't camp out at the launcher. Other people will probably need it. Stay on the right side. Conveniently, my rocket has landed kind of toward the right, but notice I'm not down on the other side. I'm just staying on the right, just gonna retrieve my rocket from where it was, record my results that I need, whether I need to measure quantitatively to it or qualitatively whether or not I hit my target, and then retrieve my rocket and go back to the same launcher. There'll be several launchers lined up here, and you just need to be efficient. If you are asked to increase the mass of your rocket, you're going to do that by adding paper clips to the fins, which Mrs. Doolin will do so that we can show you what that looks like. You just slide them onto the back of the fin. That way we now have doubled the mass of that rocket, essentially, by adding those 2 paper clips. So now that it has more mass, it has more inertia, and we can test and see how that affects its flight. So, to review, launch on the left side, retrieve on the right side, never hit people, even 6th graders, not cool, not funny, not okay. Get out the way after you launch. Get out the way from here after you launch. Don't camp behind the launcher. Do not hit the ceiling. That's just ridiculous and silly. It's not even fun, actually. Wear your safety glasses, be kind, share your resources, take good care of the equipment. Please do not slam down the stopper. It won't help you anyway. And anything else you need to add? It should be fun. Have fun. Collect good data. Launch, record, get out the way, try again. Have fun.